Canarsa. Welcome back to Canarsa. He's probably on mute. Lewis.
Here.
Davenport.
Here.
Leo.
Here.
Pinozo.
Here.
Canarsa. I know he's there. Straker is here. And John, you're on mute, but we see you. You're here, right? Yes, there you are. Okay.
I forgot to remind you that you have to say your location. Is everybody in Saugatuck, Allegan County, Michigan?
Yes.
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 That's a new one. Okay, thank you. Item number 2, are there any agenda changes or additions or deletions? Nope. Okay. Approval of the minutes from the meeting on May 6, 2021. If everyone's had a chance to review those, do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting of May 6, 2021.
Thank you. That was Leo. Do I have a second?
Second, it's Lewis.
Lewis, thank you. All in favor signify by saying yes. Canarsa? Lewis?
Yes.
Davenport?
Yes.
Pinozo?
Yes.
Leo?
Yes.
Straker is a yes. Did I miss anybody? Canarsa, are you? I'm going to text John. Okay, great. Minutes are approved. Are there any public comments tonight? Is there any unfinished business? If not, we will go directly to new business. We have 4 agenda items tonight. Before we get started on new business, if there's anyone applicant-wise new on the call today that have not been to a historic commission meeting, the way we will hear each application is we'll go A, B, C, D. With each application, Cindy will give us a brief overview of the project. We'll ask for any clarifying thoughts from you as an applicant, if there's anything you want to add to your project. And then I'll go around the virtual table and ask each commissioner if they have questions or comments. And after that, we'll have some discussion and then take a vote. I encourage you to kind of listen in and participate and not jump to any conclusions, because each of us will sort of share a comment of how we're approaching the application, but nothing is final until we vote. So it's all, you're sort of witnessing the conversation around the table real time. And with that, we'll go ahead and go to the first application, 326 Butler Street. It's a window replacement.
This application is to replace windows on the 2nd floor of the addition. I'm assuming you can hear me. The 2nd floor of the addition at the back of the building. Several years ago, Mr. Santos asked to replace those windows with vinyl, and he was denied. He has since found another contractor who can do it with wood windows that are aluminum clad. And I'll let him fill in any comments that I missed on this. If you would unmute yourself.
Yay, that worked.
Hey. Hi there, welcome.
Hey. No, this is Jose and Sherry Santos. And yeah, I'm not sure there's much more to say. It's the 2nd floor balcony of the rental unit on the top of the back top of the building. It faces the alley and the rental property behind us. And they're all pretty done. The windows are pretty done if you've ever looked at them. They're original wood windows that are falling off. So something needs to happen, and the tenant's been asking, and we've been trying to figure out what to do. So here it is.
Sherry, thank you for the overview. Can you tell us a little bit more about the condition before I go around the table? Is it wood
the
that's coming apart? Is it rot? Is it glazing coming off?
Well, yeah, several of the panes have fallen out over the years and we've replaced them as far as we can. But now the windows are rotting around all of them. And then they don't adjoin correctly anymore, like they don't shut completely. And what else? You were the one that looked at them most.
They're terrible. Have
Yeah,
to
they're
change.
really in bad shape. We were thinking
It's
about
junk.
getting them rebuilt, but we had a hard time finding anybody that can do that kind of work. So now we're just looking at casement windows to be replaced, just to replace them all, so they'll function appropriately.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm going to go around the table or around the screen. John, if you unmute yourself, do you have any questions or clarifying comments? You're on mute. You're on mute. We'll come back to John. We'll come back to John. He's on mute. Davenport. Any questions or comments?
I don't have any questions or comments.
Okay. Lewis?
Hey, sorry, I got bumped off, so I'm gonna pass for right now and just listen.
Okay.
I just got back on.
Okay, thank you. Leo?
I do have a question. Just trying to understand what we're looking at on so the second floor rear porch, those are the windows that you're replacing, correct?
Yes, they're on the photo. There's 4 of them that face the direct back of our property, and then there's one on each end as well. That's all the porch. We're going to replace all of them with the same window.
So are those sliding windows right now?
No, they go out. No, actually they go in because there's a
Oh, they
screen on
open
the
up
out.
in?
Yeah,
And the windows you're replacing them with, you said are casement windows?
our casement windows, right?
So do they open at all or no?
Yeah, they'll all open.
Okay.
They'll open out with the
Tilt out,
screen
will they
in.
tilt out?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. And will they have the same divided lights like the ones that are there now?
Yeah, they'll have the divided pans. I think it shows it on the drawing of the window,
Actually,
right? Like that.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
For clarity, the spec does, Cindy, if you scroll up just a little bit, if I'm reading the spec correctly, it does have divided light sandwiched between the glass, which is not something we usually allow.
Oh.
So that's just one call out since you asked about it, Nico.
Yep. Thank you.
Anything else, Nico?
No, I'm good.
Penozo, questions or clarifying comments?
No, I think that was helpful, that last question from Nico.
Okay. Canarsa, clarifying questions or comments?
Yeah, I looked at these windows. That's a beautiful building, and it's definitely has historic character. These windows do. I couldn't tell from looking up just how bad they were. It seemed like 2 of them were worse than others. But I know that there are window companies that make wood windows, complete wood windows that would match those new. Geldwin, I think, is one that does an all wood without the clad finish on the outside. So if you were going down that road, I think you were going down a really good historically correct road if these in fact have to be replaced. So for sure they need to be simulated divided light, or true divided light would be better, which is what they are now. Each of those panes of glass is a separate pane of glass.
Mm-hmm.
So I would love to see them be wood and authentic, even though this isn't a street facing I like where you were starting to go with it. I definitely don't like the sandwich glass. I know we won't approve that. I mean, it's against our guidelines. So I guess that's my only comment, is that there are options out there if you were going down that road to not be aluminum on the outside.
Okay. Thanks, John. Did I skip anybody? I guess the only thing I would add is I looked at the windows as well. First of all, that building is amazing. It's such an awesome building, and the windows everywhere else, including the screens, are beautiful. So the authenticity of this contributing structure is pretty amazing. I would, from just the view from down below, it looked like, obviously I couldn't see any rot or failing wood. I could see a lot of glazing attempts. There's a lot of sort of really thick glazing that sort of from afar could look like rotten wood. So gosh, I mean, I can't make any testimony to whether it's rot or glazing, but I, for one, would love for them to be repaired or have a good storm put on outside, because the building has such integrity and is so beautiful. I understand your functional need and your desire to do what you do, what you want to do. To John's point, the last commissioner, simulated divided light is usually something we approve, which means there's spacers in between and grids on the inside and the outside. The dimension of the divided light is really important. Even though it's on the back, there's an alley that you sort of drive down on the side of the building in a park, which sort of makes it a different kind of elevation in my mind. And we have, yes, a wood window would be amazing because of the integrity of the building, but we have approved clad. The simulated divided light, in my opinion, is the more important thing if we approve this. So those are just one person's comments around the integrity of the original windows.
Hey, Tim, can I jump back in?
Yep, please.
So the proposed window that you're asking to have approved is just a sandwich in between the two panes of glass. Is that correct?
I think that's what the builder put in the proposal, right?
I don't think we've ever approved that. It needs to have, it needs to, if it's not a true divided light, it needs to at least have sandwiched and then on the outsides.
Okay.
So it's, you can find them. They're not, I mean, they're definitely out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for builder purposes, the correct, for the applicant, the correct way to ask your builder is for simulated divided light.
Okay.
I mean, I would.
This is a builder. Excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
This is
Oh, there you are.
Didn't know you were on there.
Yes.
He just got in.
I just got in. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And they are sandwiched between the panes of glass, which I thought you did approve.
No, you will see those in the district. People have put those in over time, but either they have not been approved or they were pre-commission approval.
So you want the grids on the outside?
Correct. Simulated divided light.
And the inside.
Simulated divided light means it's on the inside and the outside.
Okay, because your requirements do state that they can't be removable.
Correct. That's why simulated divided light is not removable grids. They actually have spacers under the division. And they're basically glued on the glass over those spacers. So they look almost like true divided light and act like it.
I can give you an example here. If you just look at these.
I'm sorry.
He's on the phone.
Oh, you're on the phone. Well, the applicant can look at it. These are dimensional. They're outside of the glass. And then on the inside, they're stained wood, but they're also on the glass. So they're dimensional.
But more importantly, there's a spacer in between those two pieces of wood that divides the light.
Yeah. They don't.
Okay.
I would just, obviously all wood would be the best, but we've approved aluminum clad wood on other projects.
Yeah, we have.
And I personally don't have a problem with that.
Okay. but it's just the way the lights are divided.
Correct. The way the light
Okay.
is divided is a big component of the integrity of a historic structure. So even if you look on screen, sorry, you can't see, but behind Commissioner Davenport, she has a wood simulated divided light window that's completely authentic to that structure. And if that was sandwiched, it would just look like a replacement window from afar.
Okay. But the basic design of the window, the 8 divided panes and the same size is okay in your view.
I mean, you can apply for anything. One person's opinion is you would try to mirror what's there and
Which is what
replicate.
we're doing, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's important when you have historic fabric to replicate, it's important to do that if you have to replace the original material.
Yeah, the ones that are there are really not repairable. That would be almost impossible. There's just too much rot in the wood.
Okay. Any other commissioners have, excuse me, comments or questions? If not, would someone like to make a motion? Anyone? Anyone?
I just want to add, would you be willing to change the spec to what we're talking about to either a true divided or a stimulated divided light window, same design?
Sure, if that's what we need to do to get these fixed.
Yeah.
So we could make the motion with that change.
Sure.
Yeah, that would be good.
Do I have
Can you
anybody?
go back up to the start of the application, Cindy?
If I can remember where it is.
One more. Trying to get the
memo or the application?
memo, yeah. So I move to approve the application for the replacement of the windows at 326 Butler Street with the following modifications. That the windows to be installed, the new windows, be a true divided light or a simulated divided light, either wood or aluminum clad wood.
Second.
Sorry, do I have a second?
This Garn, second.
Karen, second. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll do a roll call. All in favor signify by saying yes. Leo?
Yes.
Davenport?
Yes.
Pinozo?
Yes.
Canarsa?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
And Straker is a yes. Motion carries.
Thank
You're
you.
all set.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Please just make sure you do a revised spec for your final window and give that back to Cindy at the city for the file. And I don't mean this to sound accusatory at all, so please don't take it as such. But just do remember that if the windows go in and they're wrong, because we approved this a certain way, we will require you to replace them.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Have a good meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we will go to the second application, which is 40 Butler Street.
40 Butler Street. The overview is there are some retaining walls there adjacent to the property line that are like railroad ties, and they have deteriorated to the point where they cannot be repaired anymore. So the applicant is requesting to replace them with concrete. Here are some photos of that deteriorated wall. I did measure the height. If it's under 9 inches in height, it does not need your review and approval. But at the highest point, it looks like this retaining wall is about 18 inches. So that's why it is before you today. The location, you can see on the survey is where the yellow line is. And that is all on private property, so we don't need to do any street cuts or anything like that. This is the lower part in the back of the building. And as you know, what your guidelines say is in your packet.
Great. Anything else from the applicant, or is it, who is our applicant on this?
Hi, may I speak?
Oh, hi, Greg. I didn't realize
Hi.
you were associated with this one. Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's kind of confusing. I am representing Butler Enterprises. I'm the liaison between Singapore Yacht Club. I have with me to my side Steve Marcy, who's on the executive bridge of Singapore Yacht Club to try to answer any questions or address any concerns. So we in tandem were asked to be present to try to address any concerns or answer questions. That's why both of us are here.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for the overview. We'll go ahead and go around the table to see if there's any additional questions. Lewis.
No questions.
Penozo.
The new concrete wall, how high will it be?
May I answer that, Commissioner? Okay, so
Please.
it will vary from about 9 inches, and then the highest it goes is 27 inches. There's a part right next to the Butler building that's about 27 inches high. That's the highest elevation, and that's on the sidewalk between the Butler building.
Is it fair to say that it's sort of like as or closely mirrors the existing retaining wall, just in concrete, give or take?
Yes, sir. It will mirror the height because we need to maintain the same height because of the obvious grade that's there. If we go to a certain height, also there has to be a railing. We're under that requirements. So we also want to respect the integrity of the historic district and
Great.
maintain the same height. It's just that we're not big on treated lumber because of the chemicals. The owner put a requirement on us that he wanted concrete. We thought it fit the profile of the historic district quite well. That's why we're before you.
Great. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Dan. Did you have other questions?
Nope, that answers it. Thank you.
Okay, Davenport.
No questions.
Leo.
No questions.
Canarsa.
Just one, how will this be constructed? Is it going to be poured or what?
That's a great question, John. Yes, sir. It will be a poured wall. There'll be a footing and then it'll be poured on top of the footing.
Okay, with any texture or anything, or just smooth?
I was told it was just going to be like a poured wall
Okay,
with no texture on it.
okay. No other questions.
Thank you. Does anyone else have anything? Did I miss anyone? If not, would someone like to make a motion?
Sure, Tim, this Garn. Move to approve application P-HIS-21014 at 40 Butler Street as submitted.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second, John.
John seconds. Any other discussion? Not, all in favor signify by saying yes. Verbal roll call. Leo.
Yes.
Davenport.
Yes.
Canarsa.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Penozo.
Yes.
Straker is a yes. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Our third agenda item. Insert Jeopardy music.
Okay, 890 Simonson Drive. Submitted some drawings for a zoning permit, which was too late to get on your agenda for this month. However, I was able to have the owner, Mr. Sullivan, available to answer any questions. Because there is an existing structure there and it would be scheduled for demolition, I think that it is important that you review it, even though you may find it obviously a non-contributing structure. You still have the opportunity to make that determination. Since there are no standards for a non-contributing structure to be demolished, I still think you have the opportunity to find it contributing if you do not agree with the memo.
Yeah, so I'll start us off on this one. So Cindy, when Cindy asked me about this, since it's non-contributing, it technically it probably could be staff approved. However, we've never followed a practice of approving a demolition permit, contributing or non-contributing in the district without a live meeting or conversation. So it just it seemed like a bad precedent to set to start doing that. So understanding that it's pretty much an abandoned building and non-contributing, we can have a conversation of whether anyone would like to put forward that it is contributing. I don't believe it to be. And then the second part of that is our applicant gave us a peek at what is going there, which is also traditional that if something gets demolished, the commission likes to understand what the proposal is of what replaces it. However, we are not, this is not a conceptual review for those plans or that property. It's just contextualizing the ask to demolish a non-contributing structure. So with that, I'll go around the table to see if there are, I'm sorry, I should invite our applicant to say something if you would like. It looks like Mr. Sullivan is on the line.
Yes, I am. Thanks for making some time for me today. I'm happy to discuss the structure that sits on the site today. There is some relationship between the design as presented and the structure as it sits. It is the most prominent corner of the site. So, and my goal, and the reason my wife and I bought the property, is the ability to sort of put the living space on that corner and see through the primary living space to the yard and recreation area behind it, as well as to the nature preserve across the street, across the corner. So that's the money spot. So it would certainly present a challenge if we were to try and retain it. Structurally, I'm unsure that I could incorporate the current structure into the additional loads that we're looking to superimpose on it. The other question, I suppose, and this is just obviously my lack of understanding of the process. One of the reasons that I wanted to have a fairly comprehensive look at the property is to get feedback so that later on, if I have a more developed design, I don't find, oh, hey, everybody hates the building and you're not going to get approved. So if there's a way to get some feedback on that, that would be nice. Clearly, I have designed a modern house. It's for myself. I'm an architect, recently retired. Intrigued by that kind of work, but also I think the goal has been to sort of work within the context of the neighborhood in terms of scale and height and that sort of thing. The density is relatively low. I know the maximum on the site is 30%. This is about 23, including that's the footprint, including the terraces and the patios. About 3,300 square feet of living space on that upper level. So that's, and given what the construction community is telling me in Saugatuck these days, we might look to squeeze the footprint a little bit, but the goal is to try and build a house that is large enough to, you know, have my kids come and now my grandkids, and be able to, you know, enjoy all the things that Saugatuck has to offer. So I won't belabor, but thanks for hearing me out, and love to get your feedback.
Yeah, you bet. So just for clarity, I think because none of the commissioners would have prepared for today's meeting for what I guess we would call a conceptual review of the new structure. So we have a philosophy, like we would be happy to hear it on a conceptual review basis, which doesn't have a vote. That's happened before, and several structures in the district have come before us before they finalize plans, just to say, hey, here's what we're thinking about scale and materials and relationship to neighboring structures. What do you guys think? How would you guide us, or how would you react to this? We're happy to do that in the course of a regular meeting. I don't think that would be probably appropriate tonight, since we didn't come into the meeting ready to do that. But I don't think that should hold you up, because I feel like you're thinking about all the right things. As long as you're looking at our guidelines, which are the same as any other historic district in the country set by the Department of the Interior: scale, materiality, natural materials, relationship to the lot, relationship to the neighboring structures. All those things are what's important to us. We can hate it. It doesn't matter. Our responsibility is to give you guidance based on continuity in the neighborhood. So, and I think there's, you know, a number of us that love the relationship of modern structures in a historic district. So that's not by any means a deal breaker. You can see modern structures happening all over town. It's just they take on the right relationship with everything around them.
Yeah. No, and that actually, I talked to Cindy before I bought the property, and she had indicated to me that you know, even though it was in an historic district, that commissioners had approved modern structures in that area. So it sounds like we at least have a basis for a conversation. Would Cindy, would the House appear on the next meeting for that conversation?
Yeah,
Yes,
well, let me be clear too.
do
You
that.
don't, let me be clear, you don't have to do that either. Don't feel like you have to do a conceptual review. You can do your plans as you would like and just do a regular application, and that can be the next meeting as well. It's just, if you were unsure or new to the process, we always offer that conceptual review as more of a conversation without a vote, but please don't take that as a directive. You can do whichever you would like.
Well, having gone through this process in many locations for many years, early is better. And you know, if we can have a conversation that is, we'll call it off the record, whether it's off the record or not, but just, you know, preliminary in nature, that's gonna, I think, make both of us feel better about where we're headed.
Terrific. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Cindy. Did you have anything to add to
I'm
that?
sorry.
Cindy?
I can talk with Mr. Sullivan and see if he's interested in doing a conceptual meeting or going straight for a full approval.
Okay.
And either one will work, as long as I have the application by the deadline so I can write the report.
Great.
Okay.
So let's go back to the application for demolition then, and go around the table to see if anyone has any questions. Leo, any questions?
No questions.
Yeah, thank you. Davenport?
No, I don't have any questions about the demolition, but you're right. You got the money spot there. That's the best, one of the best lots in Saugatuck. I'm
Yeah,
really
sure is.
pleased that you're going to be demolishing that structure, whatever it is. And I think the house concept is beautiful, and it'll really sit well there. unofficially.
Thank you. Lewis,
No, no questions.
Penozo,
No questions.
Canarsa,
No questions.
and I've talked enough, so I don't have any questions. All right, do I have a motion?
So are you looking for a motion to approve demolition? Is that what you're
Correct.
looking for? Okay,
Correct. It can be a motion to approve as submitted.
okay.
Oh, look, I just made a motion. Do I have a
There you
second?
go. Second.
I'll second.
There you go. Leo, second.
All in favor signify by saying yes. Verbal roll call. Lewis,
Yes.
Penozo,
Yes.
Leo,
Yes.
Davenport,
Yes.
Canarsa,
Yes.
Straker is a yes. Motion carries. Thanks so much, Mr. Sullivan. Excited to see your project. It'll be beautiful, I'm sure.
Well, thank you very much. I look forward to our next conversation.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And we will move to our last application, which by memory is blank Holland Street, 820, 840?
820. As a bit of historic, you probably remember that this lovely house was before us recently for windows and a deck that was removed. But this is a request to install some skylights, and it is considered a contributing structure. And I did put the guidelines for skylights and other roof accessories in the memo. So I hope you can read that.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, the Gonzalez, Lisa and Mr. Gonzalez. Yeah. Did you have anything to add to the application?
No, well, first we did keep all the windows and the openings like you guys suggested. We're even restoring the wood historic windows as well. So we kept everything there. The reason why we wanted to add some skylights is just in the kitchen. It's on the back of the house, so it's not in the front or anything that's viewable from Lucy or Holland Street. It has a big tree in front of it, so we're hoping that we're looking at two, not a bunch of them, but just two in the kitchen area. I think the dimensions that the contractor told us would be like 21 by 45. And they blend in with the black roof. So we would kind of make them as discreet as possible.
And I'm sorry, I'm not remembering. Is there yeah, there is a spec. I see it now. Yep. Thank you. Okay, we'll go around the table with any questions. Davenport.
So it's just for additional light and or air, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Because it's dark. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Dark back there.
yeah, of course. Yeah. All right, that's it for me.
Thank you. Leo.
No questions for me.
Penozo.
No questions.
Canarsa.
No questions.
Lewis.
No questions.
My only comment is thank you for not asking for a big groovy bubble skylight. That's what I was most concerned about. Okay, would anyone like to make a motion?
I make a motion, this is John, to approve as submitted the application PHIS 21016 at 820 Holland Street as submitted.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second, Davenport.
Thank you. All in favor signify by saying yes. For verbal roll call. Canarsa?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
Leo?
Yes.
Penozo?
Yes.
Davenport?
Yes.
And Straker is a yes. Motion carries. Thank you so much for coming in. Good luck on your project.
I have one more question. I don't know if I can.
Off the record.
Off the record. So, we're keeping all the wood siding and everything, and we're wondering if there's any recommendations on, what color to paint the house once we have it scraped off and everything, properly clean. It's all going to be the same material, but we're wondering if you guys recommend keeping it the green color it has, or we were thinking if it fits well. The original house was white, so we were thinking maybe going with a white-ish color if it'll sit well in the wood. We might go that route. We just didn't know what you guys recommend or prefer.
It's actually completely up to you. We do not really have a say on color because color is something that can be changed without really affecting the integrity of the historic structure. So I would guess that the green that you might be thinking about changing is not even close to original. So yeah, we don't really have an opinion on that. We would love it to be whatever it is supposed to be.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if anybody has been living in the Saugatuck area for a long time, if they know how long.
For me to have a perspective on that.
Yeah. Green or white or what was in the past.
You guys, come by and talk to Steve about your paint, because we have the same age of house, about yours is a little bit younger, but if you paint it or have a contractor paint, it's just going to peel off. They used a different kind of paint, and we ended up repainting our whole house.
Every 2 years.
Every 2 years. So if you want to talk to Steve, we're at 607 Butler.
Okay. Do you have to use a special paint, or is it?
Yeah, I think you have to.
It's a different procedure.
It's a different procedure. I don't want to take a lot of time, but come and talk to Steve, or you can ask Cindy for my number.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Steve and Jennifer are our little communities, the sold house experts. We're convinced that they could have a TV show, and I volunteered to be their agent. So they're a wealth of resources.
Good. Well, we need all kinds of
Yeah,
resources.
we don't want to pay all that money. We do it like twice every year.
The house looks great. The house looks great.
Okay.
Slow coming.
Yeah. It's taking a while.
Sorry, I'm scrolling back to our agenda. Are there any administrative approvals or updates other than 222 Butler that you'd like to highlight, Cindy?
22 is the only one.
Okay. Is there any communication?
No communication.
Any more public comment? And is there any other commission comment? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Thank you. Second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying yes. Canarsa?
Yes.
Lewis?
Yes.
Nozo?
Yes.
Davenport?
Yes.
Leo?
Yes.
And Straker is a yes. So we are adjourned. Thanks so much, everyone. Enjoy your night.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Now.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
Bye.